In my last self-defense video, I showed you how to, against an individual attacker, back up, draw the knife, and block by slicing. And then once you slice them, then you can stab. And that was against an individual attacker. But the question arises, what do? You're in this open space. So I'm in this room that has all this open space. And I have a situation here. I've got 3 guys that all have their knives drawn, and they're all going, hey man, we're gonna get you. You need to come with us, is what they're telling me. And what's the rule about being kidnapped? You're not allowed to be kidnapped. So I don't believe I'm allowed to be kidnapped. And so I have to fight 3 guys. What do? Do I take out the biggest one? Do I take out the smallest one? Do I figure out how tall you are? Like, what's your reach like? Do I like watch the way you're standing? Yeah, what I would do, okay, so they're going, hey, you need to come with us, and they've got knives out. I am gonna reach in, draw my knife, and I am going back. And this is where I'm fighting from. Because now I'm getting into my crouch position, which I didn't even do because I wasn't worried about that. What I was worried about is I'm getting away and I'm going into a doorway, or I'm finding a choke point, because that's what this video is all about, is choke points. So in war, you create choke points. Like, that's why they had barbed wire. That's why like people set up certain places. It's because there's a choke point there. Like, the terrain forces you into a spot where you can just kill them. Like in the movie 300, they had a choke point and they had to defend the choke point. So there are big wars or big battles, and then there are little battles, and there are different types of choke points. But what I'm doing when I have to draw this knife and go back here, and now I'm gonna cut your arm. And I want to see you go, ah! I want to see you go, shit! I want you to like cringe with your weapon so that you're not really holding your weapon very well. And then I'm going to stab you. And if I see you, I'm going to kick you. And I'm going to push you with my kick. Because I want you out of the way so that I can get to the next one. Because the next one's coming. Because there are 3 of them. But they can only go one at a time because one of them's in front of me. So like if I was doing, because really, like, I mean, if you don't have a good enough choke point, both of them could come, 2 people could come at the same time, and then you're still like back here and you're just trying to cut their arms. But if you get one of their arms and you see them grimace or cringe or something, that's when you want to make sure that you get a jab in there. So, but like, do you want to move them out of the way right away? You might want to use them as defense, because you might want to keep stabbing them a bunch of times and then hold them. Actually, now that I think about it, because my initial reaction, which is kick them away and bring them, like, that's what you do when you're fighting them. So like you'll like, say that there are 3 guys jumping you, you don't have a weapon. You're going to grab one of them and put them in front of you in the doorway. And you're gonna knock them unconscious and beat the shit out of them. And then you push them away and grab the next one. And so, I mean, in general, you do want to push them away. And I think you want to push them away. But you might not want to push them away until you've stabbed them enough times, because you're fighting multiple attackers with a knife. Have I ever fought anyone with a knife? No. Like, but I know that I believe in using the knife that I always carry. But I'm wearing different clothes right now because I went on a walk and I was wearing pants. So like, apparently this is the knife I have in there. I'm not used to drawing it, but it works. It works perfectly fine. I would have no problem with it. So that's the lesson. Like I said before, it's all about, like, you draw the weapon, you get down, you get small, you're blocking your throat, you're protecting your groin. Like, you were so aware of what's happening, because if they're leg kicks, I'm gonna stab you in the leg. That's like the best thing that could ever happen to you, is they decide to try to kick you in the nuts. because you're like, oh, you're an expert. Now I stabbed you in the leg and now you're having trouble walking. Like, but they're gonna still be sitting there on the ground going, and you're gonna go, what are we doing here, bud? Like, are you gonna get up? Cause like, I still have my knife. And you're still waiting for a chance to slash their arm. But if you get them in the leg, you might be able to get them again, which is like the whole idea, is you get them, you cause pain, the pain is distracting because like you are looking for an opening to really end the fight. And you don't want to have a knife fight last because you're going to get cut. And like, I think there's like an assumption you're going to get cut in a knife fight, and that makes you a better knife fighter. And that's why you might want to mix up the way you attack someone, especially if like there's a reason that someone's attacking you. I think if someone's attacking me, they're probably like the guy with cauliflower ears that wants to start a fight. You know, like that's a guy that fights all the time, and those people are very out there nowadays. Everyone watches MMA.